Alright. What the heck is going on, everybody, and welcome back. We've got ourselves the big grand finals, the one which I actually cast live just a few days ago, but I'm back home and I want to dive into a deep analytical cast of this game now that the excitement's died down for me. And I know some of you might not have even watched it live or watched it from the videos yet, so hopefully, even if you're watching for the first time, this will still be an exciting cast, but one where I can add a bit more depth and detail to this match. We've got MARU in the top right side against SERRAL in the bottom left. It is the two players that dominated their respective regions, SERRAL dominating the non-Korean world, MARU dominating the Korean world for the entirety of 2018. MARU won every single GSL that year, and SERRAL won every single WCS tournament that year, which was absolutely historic. It was also, I believe, the biggest year for StarCraft 2 prize money in history, or at least very close to it. I think 2012 might have slightly had more due to all the big national WCS tournaments going on that year, but it was massive. And despite that, and we thought they would play in the big finals, they ended up playing in GSL versus the World, but it was only in a very single game, I believe, or a short series, and MARU lost a best of 1 to SERRAL. It wasn't a big deal, and we were like, no, we need a big series. We need a best of 5, a best of 7, a semis or a finals on the big stage at the most important tournament in the world. And unfortunately, in the round of 8 of BlizzCon, MARU got 3-0'd by SOS in one of the biggest upsets of history. He got absolutely destroyed. He did not play his best, and he went out. SERRAL went on to win that BlizzCon, that World Championship, became the champion over stats with a 4-2 victory, one of the most epic runs we've seen. His victory over Rogue in the semi-finals was an absolutely massive test, and we basically thought Rogue was the best late game player in the world, and SERRAL proved that he was just that 2% better than Rogue. Rogue threw everything he had at SERRAL and could not break him. Now, after all these years of waiting and us never getting these two matching in the biggest tournament finals, they've only really played in a few online tournaments. We've had them at a 500,000 tournament, IEM Katowice, playing here in the grand finals, and it's super friggin' hype. The problem for MARU, even though he started off well with 2 Zerglin kills here, is that he is going up against a SERRAL that he has a 75% loss rate to. So I guess a better way of saying that is he has only won 1 in 4 series they've actually played against each other. So that's not map score. His map score makes it look a bit closer. I think it's more like 36 or 37% for him. But in terms of who actually comes out on top in the series, SERRAL wins 3 out of 4. And that is, of course, looking very good for him. But a lot of people have said, you know what, online, it actually favors SERRAL more because Terran relies more on low ping to do their micro. MARU's got a late game and early game, and when he can do both of those live at an event, he can absolutely crush. Now, the reason why that doesn't necessarily hold up is I think players who've said that are forgetting something which SERRAL said. People have said, how do you perform so well and so consistently at live tournaments? And there's a famous quote where he said, oh, I don't play any better at live tournaments. I just play the same, but everyone else seems to play worse. And that saying is really stuck in my head. I've repeated it many times because I think it sums up how consistent SERRAL is, how calm he is in the face of very intense moments. Whereas historically, MARU, for instance, last year, yeah, SERRAL lost in the round of 8, a surprise loss to Ragnarok, which he really screwed up and actually showed a bit of mental weakness in. It was a very rare moment for SERRAL. But that gave MARU a clear win to win the World Championship, and he faltered in the finals, losing, I believe it was 4-1 to Oliveira. And that was a really big upset, something where MARU has shown a bit more of a propensity to not perform at live events outside of Korea. And I would say specifically the Korean GSL format has favored MARU historically because he's very good at preparing for a series. And in GSL, you've usually got several weeks of knowing who your opponent is. You can map out exactly what strategies you want to play, and that can be a big difference maker. Now, Speed Overseer coming through and scouting right now. It is just a very standard bio opening. The Hellions are being very passive so far. And here comes a little bit of a roach pressure. Oh god, wait, what is this build for SERRAL? Oh, he's doing it the fastest possible queen drop. Right, okay, sorry, I should have remembered this game and already started setting this up for it, guys. He skipped roach speed off his 15-15. It's 3 gases, 41 drones. The third base is just for show. And he is coming across with the fastest German taxi I've ever seen. 3 queens in an overlord. He's got a pack of roaches, and you might wonder, why is he not making roach speed? And that's exactly what I was saying casting this live. However, guess what? He wants to save that gas for Ravages. He's going to make as many Ravages as he can. He's going to try and kill MARU right now. MARU is so reliant on Banshees for defense, but the Banshees cannot beat 3 queens, especially not if that overlord drops creep and allows them to transfuse. Nice snipe on that first roach that was trying to morph into a Ravager. MARU needs to pull SCVs forward and repair those Banshees. He cannot afford to lose those. He's got 2 bunkers building behind the wall off. He will get plenty of Marines inside, and he does have stim, so it looks like MARU should be able to survive. But SERRAL is already droning behind it. Notice SERRAL's at 55 workers with more on the way. He's clearing up these depots, and with all these biles, he might be able to break this bunker as well. Oh, 1 bunker goes down. Uh-oh. MARU has stimmed his Marines, including the ones inside the bunker. He's pulling mass SCVs to repair, but look at that. Bile spreading across the repairing SCVs, taking them down. A Banshee falls as well. A tank does siege up on the ramp. The Queens are starting to fall. If he can take out that Queen, the Banshee could defend this entire push, and it looks like the Banshee will indeed survive and be able to push these Roaches and Ravagers away. Units lost tab, though, shows that it's so far been favorable for SERRAL. And with killing 13 SCVs, you can see the economic advantage. 65 workers for SERRAL, 37 for MARU. Biles in this dead space area trying to catch the Banshee, but the Banshee's not going to be able to get any more damage there. He definitely should probably pull that back and repair it because it's almost out of energy. I think he's eager to get damage on SERRAL's side of the map, but SERRAL morphing a defensive overseer. Only 3 Queens are out right now for SERRAL, so he's literally pulling all 3 Queens over to the right side. He then changes his mind, pulls them back. MARU, watch out. You can't be affording to lose that. No! MARU losing a Banshee. He needs to play a perfect game of StarCraft now. He does at least catch the Overseer going through the main. But this was a brilliant surprise maneuver. And this brings us back to SERRAL against MARU. And I believe it was Masters Coliseum 6. It was some sort of, or maybe a Gladiator Cup. It was one of the big online tournaments, probably 6 months ago now, where maybe a year, where SERRAL caught him off guard repeatedly with weird 2-base Roach pushes and punished MARU for doing low ground 2-Rax Reaper openings. Now, MARU didn't open low ground 2-Rax Reaper, but he was still very reliant on the Banshees. And just getting 3 Queens and 15 Roaches across the map that early, lots of Ravagers, dropping creep outside the base. That's actually just such a frustrating thing for MARU to have dealt with. And it's given SERRAL huge momentum going through to the next stage. Now keep in mind, guys, the way it works here in a best of 7 finals is both players pick a map each. MARU got Hecate, SERRAL has picked Radhuset Station, and only then are they allowed to veto. Normally, Zergs always veto this map because it's amazing for Terran, and normally Terran always vetoes Radhuset Station because it's amazing for Zerg. But SERRAL has now managed to kind of, you could say, cheese an early advantage against MARU and get himself in a really good position. And one has to question, should MARU have built 8 Hellions and 2 Banshees against a 2-base Roach opening? I think there's a very good argument that he shouldn't have. Now, that Marine focus fire, not very good. He got a few Roaches there, but he lost a bunch of Marines. MARU needs to be extremely efficient. He cannot afford to just trade 1 Marine for 1 Roach. He needs to be doing a lot better than that. He just lost 3 Marines, 4 Marines for a single Roach there. That's a bad trade for him. That's actually cost inefficient. And remember, he needs to be more efficient because he's had a rough start. Now, SERRAL's trying to drop creep with the Overlord. I love this maneuver. MARU's going to go down that right side. MARU's got vehicle weapons on the way. Now, I find that a little bizarre. I feel like 2-2 have to be the more important upgrades here, or at least +2 attack. But he goes for the vehicle weapons, maybe not quite realizing that's the case. And he's going to go for some, not quite a doom drop, but very heavy drop pressure. So MARU's saying, look, if I just sit with my tanks very defensively, try to just survive there, I'll build a missile turret, because we know SERRAL likes to do tunneling claws after this sort of early game. So he's definitely studied SERRAL. He knows what he's up to, and he's going for a very fast 4th command center. So MARU's going to try and creep his way back in, just limp his way back into the late game. Yet again, Marine goes down for no kills. SERRAL's positioning has been excellent thus far. And notice SERRAL's got like Overlord over here on the far right of our screen. Overlord's there. He's got these Overlords everywhere. He's also got Queens going up on the top left, so he's going to try and drop creep over there. Nice idea. Can't drop creep on the ramp though, so gotta make sure. Oh, you can drop creeps on ramps now. I don't know why I even said that. That's so funny because that used to be a thing like 2 years ago. They fixed that, pig. You can drop creep tumors wherever you want now. You can't build other things on a ramp. You can't build structures, but creep tumors, they made an exception for. Is that a 5th command center? Oh, MARU. He's playing so greedy to try and recover in this game. And you know what? SERRAL's going ultras, hive tech. This might be the right play. If he can survive for long enough, this could get him back in this game. This is actually a really clever play. The problem is he does need 3 more barracks. He's building a reactor on the 2nd factory, so he's going to go either Widow Mines or Hellbats to support. He does find this creep here. Not able to scan it just yet. Looks like he managed to get rid of the Overlord, or maybe even a tumor up there as well. Oh, Roach counterattack runs in. Good drop there for MARU. Oh, he's not. Oh, he's distracted. There's a big army on the right. These Roaches turning around. SERRAL getting some good trades. MARU, oh god, he's in the open. Nice abduct on the tank. SERRAL with a beautiful blinding cloud to follow it up. The SCVs evacuate pretty quickly. Looks like the Banelings do blow up most of these. Okay, so 3 tanks and 10 SCVs. SERRAL takes out a lot of that stuff. Is Roaches running in on the left as well? MARU did not split his army correctly. MARU was so greedy going for 5 command centers this early, and he gets punished for it rather big. I think, was it unnecessary greed? Maybe, but I think the bigger thing is that MARU's whole army got pulled to the left, and SERRAL just caught him out of position. So, fantastic trading for SERRAL. He's now going for a Spire. Broodlords to break a heavy tank defense is always effective, and in general, when the Terran's turtling, Broodlords can be so powerful. +2 melee is on the way. +3 Carapace hasn't started just yet. SERRAL, of course, a little gas shy, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts that up any moment. As I say it, there we go. The man is so on point. Still got that queen drop in the top left being annoying. And each time he's forcing a scan out, that is, of course, 225 minerals that could be mined from a mule that could have dropped instead. Bio on the left side coming forward. He's going to have to pick these units up. Oh, hatchery. Nice. Hey, good move for MARU. Oh! SERRAL cancelled it, started rebuilding it. He focused it down again. SERRAL cancels it and rebuilds it a second time. I mean, amazing control for SERRAL to do that so quickly, but also for MARU to keep focusing it down. Great value for him. He's still behind in the units lost tab, which is appallingly bad against a Zerg. But it's how that changes from now on that is going to define this game. Right now, MARU is on a race against time to max out. He's trying to get Ghosts for the Ultras, Widow Mines, of course, to help deal with the Ling Bane. He's already on 4 siege tanks. If he could get a few more, that would be great. I like this command center, but I'd actually like MARU to move it forward a little bit more to try and really obstruct this opening. I think wall-offs, when you're stuck defending and turtling, are the most underrated part of Terran vs. Zerg. Widow Mine does take out a few Banelings. An Ultra gets hit by 2 of them as well. Tanking very nicely. Banelings not even needing to be used here as the Ultras and the Lings take out a lot of that. A few Ravagers do get kited down. Trying to turn around. SERRAL with a brave attack here. The Vikings will punish him, taking down at least one of those Vipers. Widow Mines, Bio, and Snipes taking out the Ultras. Good hold by MARU. That was impressive. MARU needs a few more fights like that, and he could definitely do great. Oh, he gets a second Viper! SERRAL normally known for recycling his Vipers for minutes on end, never losing them. In this case, he's going to have to instantly rebuild those Vipers. It's going to be a long time till they have energy to go again. Lings picking off a few SCVs and a Widow Mine. Nice micro for SERRAL, who even borrows a few Lings in the mineral line. MARU does pay attention. Scans, takes it down. Okay, guys, so we've got Ultra on the way. Corruptors, 3-3 upgrades building. 81 drones, 112 Zerglings, 26 Banelings, 4 Roaches, 4 Ravagers. Creep is spreading all over the map right now. 2 Liberators building an extra command center on the way. So he did he lose a command center? Oh, he lost his planetary, which means he doesn't have a new planetary up on these bases. Oh, he's got to lock things down, man. Are we seeing Broodlords, guys? Or is this just to deal with the Libs? It could just be to deal with the Libs, but he hasn't seen Liberators yet, which is why I think that Greater Spire is probably going to be used for an offensive Broodlord morph. Where are those Corruptors, guys? Looks like they're rallying over to the right. You want to morph those outside of Sensor Tower vision normally. Rallying to the front. You can see here, MARU knows there's an army down there. Big Ling Bane coming forward. Oh, Widow Mine's getting some decent splashies there, but he hasn't run the SCVs. MARU really took a while to run the SCVs there. He ended up just not pulling them at all. Very dangerous. Gets away with it, though. Sorry, guys. I had to pause to sneeze there. I strained an intercostal muscle, one of the rib ones. So whenever I have a sneeze, it's kind of painful right now. And I'm like, I've got to kind of stifle it a bit, which is the worst feeling. But recovering. Oh. Don't try and do don't try and awkwardly do handstands when you haven't done one in over a decade, unless you can, unless you're doing it against a wall. That's my advice for the older gentlemen like me who don't know our limits yet. Ultraling Bane coming in. The Vikings getting taken down. Can SERRAL take out the base? He's going after the Ghost. Good spreadies for MARU. The Banelings are still getting a few decent hits, though. The tank's getting okay value. A lot of the mines and whatnot are on the left side of the map, though. Oh, I think this is enough damage. So much stuff going down. SERRAL using that early momentum clears the entire mineral line. If he could save both command centers, that'll be something for MARU, but this is a very good trade for SERRAL. I mean, SERRAL, yeah, he's down on the units lost, but he's got 82 workers. He's got so much money in the bank. MARU is just struggling to hang on. And now there's Infestors coming forwards. And this is the problem. Because MARU is barely surviving, against the basic armies. Is he really going to be ready if Corruptor or Broodlord Infestor comes in, or even just Unburrowed Infestor catches? It's going to be tough. 2 libs and 3 Widow Mines on the right side. He's going to need to try and get some libs on this left as well, I feel. There's 6 medevacs, which is great. I think Liberators need to be a bit of a priority for Maru. He's trying to rebuild his workers, of course, because he wants to be good in the long game. But look, Serral's already moving forward with these bases, mining out these middle hybrid gold and blue mineral bases. Raynor said on the desk segment before this, the secret to beating Maru's godlike late game is stealing the resources from his bases on his side of the map. Widow Mine does not get a big shot. Corruptor's trying to do damage here. The ghosts are coming forward. There's a lot of Zerglings. Good pullbacks by Maru. But he's losing mining time during all this. His command center is getting taken out. Decent hits with the Widow Mines and the tanks. That command center is going to burn down, though. Maru, oh, he's a bit slow to save it. He should have repaired that. That was a bit sloppy. Notice he's got all these SCVs nowhere to mine from. Needs to save as much as he can. Maru needs to be flawless on the defense. He can't be affording to just be making little mistakes here or there. We saw 1,000 APM for Serral for a moment. The reason being, of course, him holding down the Morph Baneling key. That rapid fire being at an extreme setting. Heard about at this event. Apparently, Lambo and some of the other guys have special keyboards where they have different repeat rates for different keys, which is just absolutely insane. I did not realize they'd done that. Oh no, this is big for Serral. He finds the command center. It's going to take massive damage. Command center is going to go down. Maru's trying to counter push. That is not the priority. He needs to turtle up right now. Oh, Maru should not be pushing. I get that the purple gold, the blue gold base is scary, but moving out is a death sentence because now Serral just easily finds openings here. Gets in, finds massive damage, 30 SCVs, denies your 4th base, starts tearing down the buildings as well. He's going to take out that armory, which means the Widow Mines will now be revealed. This is a disaster for Maru against the Serral, who's just remaxing Ultra Ling Bane. No Infestors or Vipers right now, but he's just got a massive army. And on a 3 base, Maru cannot handle this. Serral got momentum early, so to be fair, it's understandable that Maru's not coming back. But Maru, I was hoping for him to play a little bit more perfectly on the defense on this map, because this map's so strong for turtling. There's great choke points. It's kind of hard to attack as the Zerg. He's moving out for a counterattack again, and I understand why. He's only on 27 workers. At this point, he feels like he needs to make a play. You can see the Liberators aren't really facing in the right direction. Mass Ultraling Bane Corruptor comes in. The libs are falling so very quickly. The medevacs will go down as well, and Serral is going to take a clinical map 1, and it's all off the back of an amazing push. Now, I'm going to be doing a little bit of this replay analysis in this series, guys. I think if we want to point out mistakes that Maru made here, it's a 4-queen opening. He knows it's a 4-queen opening. He saw this, right? He knows it's this 2-base 15-15 opening with a delayed 3rd. And I think you just have to respect the aggression that can come out of it. I think the mind game that's being played here by Serral is he normally hits at about 6 minutes with roach speed, and like a ton of roaches with roach speed, and potentially the queen drop. But in this case, he hit even faster. Let's check the benchmark. When did he arrive at the Terran side of the map? Because skipping roach speed, it felt like this is crazy early. He's hitting at 5 minutes. He pulls back for the Banshee there, so it's like maybe 5:15. That's just disgustingly early. If you can shape, yeah, I think Maru was figuring with this build. How many Hellions did he build? He only built 4 Hellions. I was saying he shouldn't have built 8 Hellions. He didn't build 8 Hellions. He only built 4. But even building 4 Hellions is too many because they're just not useful against a guy that hasn't made Ling speed. They're so useful here against this. Oh, man. This is, and the thing is, like, this is not even a scoutable build, guys. Because this looks exactly this, like, Serral can do macro builds off this same opening. This is just another problem for Maru as a player, because I'm telling you, this opening is exactly the same as if he macros into fast ultras, which he's beat Maru with in the past on Neo Humanity. He's also killed Maru doing a 6-minute roach push with queens off this. And now he's hitting at 5:15. And notice, look at this, he's already building 8 drones. So by 6 minutes, 7 minutes, he's still going to have an amazing economy. But you have to, in the meantime, deal with this massive rally. Look at this, 14 roaches, a Ravager, 2 more. So that's a total of 17 roaches, many of which will morph into Ravagers, 3 queens, which completely negate the Banshee's ability to defend this. And this is just an insanely annoying push to deal with. It doesn't even need to kill you. It's kind of like a contain. And already, Serral's ahead on the workers. I mean, this is just the 15-15 used for its best advantage. Eric said it himself, the 15-15 is best if you want to do aggression off 2-base off of it. It is the best build for that. And that's exactly what SERRAL's doing, but it doesn't have to be all-in aggression, and that's what SERRAL has really evolved and shown with this style. This opening here is deadly. I don't think we've ever seen SERRAL do this. If I'm incorrect and you guys have seen it, please let me know in the comments. Link me up a video or reference where it is. But this was the first time I'd ever seen this build. I think it's the first time MARU saw it. And the fact that SERRAL saved this for the grand finals because he dominated so hard up to now is just beautiful. Most players get to the finals of these weekend tournaments and they're just using the same builds they've been using all week already. SERRAL dominated so hard, he still had tricks up his sleeve. All right. Game 1 there under the belt. He's got that under the belt? In the bag. That's the phrase I'm looking for SERRAL. In the top right, representing Basilisk. His opponent in the bottom left, representing Vitality. The onside team, by the way, partnered with Vitality, so now it's they're representing Vitality from now on. MARU, Solar, and Ryung. Now, MARU had a bad run in that game, but I just wanted to reference. So I said, oh, if anyone's seen that build, and I was mentioning Masters Column CM6 because I remember that's when SERRAL was really doing a lot of 15-15. So my lovely viewer and moderator Riglinium dug up the Masters 6 Coliseum match, not the group stage, but the one where they played in the bracket in a best of 5. And in game 1 of that series, SERRAL opened with a 15-15. He did the 2-base roach push. He had 3 more drones, so it was a 4-gas 44 drone push that he did. He also had roach speed. The difference is he skipped overlord speed and instead he just walked 2 queens across the map to get across there, which was really cool. So it still had the anti-banshee power, kind of, but only 2 queens, obviously not as much power. And the ability to spread creep outside the base. Had roach speed finishing behind it. He hit a bit later at about 535. But it was against MARU building 2 barracks in the low ground. And he basically rocked up. MARU had to build bunkers and tanks and panic. Forced both barracks to pick off, killed the depots. And then he just spread creep outside his base and just went home. So there's a lot of mind games where, because in the first series they played in Masters Coliseum 6, SERRAL just killed him with the roach push off 2-base. So then in the second series, he kind of did a bit of a feint, moved across, scared him, feigned the aggression, scared the heck out of MARU, and then just did some damage and backed off and forced a big over response and got ahead. Now here, he's back to doing the push, but actually committing to it and doing it even faster. And he did a ton of damage. And you can just see that the amount of different aggressive openings SERRAL has off that 15-15 are hard to deal with. Now, you got to wonder, for MARU fans, well, what is he supposed to do? Now, you could not play Hellion Banshee against it. You could play more of a, okay, I'm going to get like, maybe a Cyclone Hellion opening to give a bit more flexibility, or go for, extra barracks and stim a bit earlier, because once you get stim and a lot of bio up, you can crush through. The problem is you can't do all of these things and go for a fast third command center. And that's the big problem, is going third command center. It's just very hard to defend a dedicated 41 drone Zerg push if you've rushed 3cc and you're relying on Banshees to defend. If they bring those queens, you don't have that leverage. Normally the Banshee is something that can, with a small investment, defend a large amount of ground units. The queens counter that, and your ability to do a greedy 3cc is severely impinged. This forces MARU to move away from what he's best at. SERRAL coming in with a 2-pronged Overlord Scout, by the way. Sees double Engineering Bay, fast third command center. He skipped his own Ling Speed to do this, by the way, guys. His Ling Speed's very late. Hellions run in. Oh, they get 2-3 drones. But you know what? That was a really good response. Really good response there by SERRAL. That was massive. Absolutely shuts it down. Yeah. So the 2 Hellion run by does nothing. Overlord does die to the Cyclones. But anyway, so what I was getting to is if MARU plays 2 command center, the problem he's going to find himself in is SERRAL has such an early Overseer and Overlord Scout with Overlord speed. He's going to see that you're not going third command center, and he just won't go for the push. He might bring a few roaches across with the queens and drop creep outside your base to scare you, but he's not going to commit in if you're doing a 2-base build. So MARU has to find some sort of elegant response, maybe a one-size-fits-all response to this. When he sees that 15-15 opening, he sees the delayed third, where he has some sort of, gets a bit more units out of 2-base, but then the moment he gets scouted, drops a third command center afterwards, after he knows SERRAL's not going to commit. But he's got to find a way to be one step ahead of SERRAL, whereas so far he's been one step behind. Now, SERRAL has played a disgustingly greedy build so far. He is going for 56 workers, 3 bases immediately. He's mining out the minerals on the back to take a 4th. So is MARU. MARU is not far behind at all. The crazy thing is, we've gone from SERRAL stealing MARU's map pick to now we're on SERRAL's best map. And it doesn't look like Maru's trying to cheese him or catch him off guard. Maru is just playing a big macro game. I think a lot of us expect Maru to probably try and do some sort of 3-base timing attack to not let this get too far. The reason being, it's incredibly hard for Terran to secure bases in the later stages. Serral comes in with a Ling flank. Uh-oh. He's going after the Hellions because those are the bigger threat to the Zerglings. He does split the Zerglings here, but those Cyclones microing well. I think Maru should be able to get out of here. Oh, great micro by Maru. Oh, one of them gets caught in the corner, though. Nonetheless, equal units lost, but I think that's good for Serral, as Serral is now on 72 workers. He has 1-1 upgrades on the way. Third base fully saturated. Fourth is almost there. Serral's worker count absolutely roaring. And having no pressure on the front, he's going to feel very good about that. For Maru, he's not particularly mobile right now. He's going to start his first 2 medevacs at 610. Not a very early moment in the game to be starting those medevacs, but of course he's played very greedy, so you can understand why. He's already got +2 attack starting, my lord. That is an early +2 attack, +2 armor. What the hell, man? I kind of want to see Maru move out with his Marines now and then just boost the medevacs across to join them. It's risky, but I think you have to play a little riskier on Radhuset Station. Radhuset. Radhuset. Something like that. I've looked up the pronunciation multiple times, but I always forget it. And I'm Australian. I'm gonna say it the Australian way. We're not going to try and pronounce it like an actual Swedish person. As much as some of you do get triggered by that, there's a reason why we called it Jagannatha, not Jagannath, as well. I think it's a bit easier. We just kind of read things phonetically on these non-native to English words for these map names. 2-2s on the way. We've got an Infestation Pit and a Hydra Den. Double drop going straight to the back door. He doesn't have a Ling on the Watchtower. Uh-oh. Serral may get caught off guard. His Lings are close by. Okay, quick reaction. He's already reacted. That was almost instant for Serral. Moves to the top left. And remember, like I said, it's not the fastest double drop. 7 minutes 20. So he's more than ready for that. Serral is up on 81 workers. He's got a macro hatchery building at the front. You kind of want it at the front because the main base is so far away on this map. You'd rather it be out here so you can reinforce a little quicker. Hatchery on the right side as well. I'm getting worried for Maru right now, guys. He's gone for a very quick 4th command center, so it's definitely not 3-base aggression. He's going for 8 racks now. I don't really see how you're going to compete with a Zerg on such a map. What bases do you defend? Baneling drop comes in. Baneling drop comes in. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay. Maru, very good pull so far. Oh, pull the Marauders over, mate. Oh no, he's pulling the SCVs back. Okay, a little derpy there from Maru, not his best control. Drop in the main middle of the map also was being pulled away. That's part of why. Marine mine drop on the right side is going to come in. Remember, in one of those recent patches, it was changed so Widow Mines no longer fire on lava automatically. So you can burrow those Widow Mines immediately. 10 Zerglings go down there. Drop in the left as well. Drop in the right, drop in the left. Nice multi-drops coming out from Maru. Drops a Widow Mine in there. A few of the Marines do go down, but he's getting good trades. This is exactly what he's looking for. Time for these drops to get a bit of momentum. He does not have a big reinforce coming through the middle of the map, though. He's still playing kind of cautiously. I think he's a little worried about a Lingbane counterattack. I want to see this bio rallying to the center of the map, picking up and dropping every base at once. Maru trying out multitask Serral right now. Serral's on top of it, though. He's lost 7 drones, but no catastrophic damage for the Finnish player. 10 Queens, 106 Zerglings, 16 Banelings. We've got 2 Infestors and 2 Vipers making the Spellcasters for Serral going to be the most important thing. He's also got Burrow coming in. He's saying, that is where my efficiency lies. Vipers with Parasitic Bomb for dealing with the drops. Infestors for dealing with everything else. Lingbane is going to push up those drops. They're going to pick up and go north. At the same time, Biomine moving to the south. The drop in the main going back and forwards. We've got an 8 Ling drop trying to sneak in, but there are turrets ringing the entire base. Serral seems to know where the hole is, though. So he's queued those Lings up to drop in there. Anything to distract Maru. To force Maru's attention away from the front line. That is his goal right now. Double drop in the main does get forced to pick up. Where is that Overlord drop? Did it just get taken out? I think it did. No, he turned it around. Oh, he must have seen the bio coming. Serral pulling that away. 3-3 is on the way for Terran. +3 Carapace, not too far behind for Serral. He's going to morph some Banelings maybe. Try and roll those into the base. Looks like he doesn't see anything just yet. Widowmine drop comes in. Looks like a bunch of Banelings got taken out by that one. At least 2. Lingbane on the right side. Going to try and stop these Widowmines. Nice engagement. Cleans those up. Oh, Maru with a bit of a miss rally to the north. Those units rally in on an awkward side. Serral does deflect. Looks like these medevacs are not finding an opening. And he just can't get in. Ling Bane's going to roll forward. Lings are going to pull back. Ling's on the left side also there. Cloak coming in for the ghosts. Maru is willing to play the biggest of macro games. 3 more command centers building. I wouldn't recommend this. You have to be a bit of a psychopath to do what Maru's trying to do in this game, guys. Playing a macro game versus SERRAL on this map, not for the faint of heart. Empty drop a lot on the south. 8 Ling drop into the natural. Anything to force a response here. Just running into that third base, trying to keep his opponent busy. Trying to be as distracting as he possibly can, but the Marines and the Marauders will start to hunt that down. Overlord does get taken, or at least pushed away. Marauder with the medevac will eventually defend. On the right side, looks like another Widow Mine drop does come in. One of those Widow Mines is going to go off. Watch out. Oh, 4 drones and a big pack of Ling Bane. Not too bad. Marine drop in the north as well. SERRAL getting caught out of position slightly here. He's being very annoying as Maru gets himself 8 drones. Not too bad. And of course, Maru's going to pick up to come back a later day with those 2 Marines. Maru has decided this expansion pattern. Rather than rush into the gold base, he's going to expand to the top left corner of the map. Vipers come forward, but they spot the Widow Mines. Ring of Widow Mines will keep him back. Hydra Ling Bane, Viper coming forward. The Lings break the front line of the mines. Marines trying to pull back. The Marauders doing what they can. Those Marines on the left side get hit by a Widow Mine. Ooh, but you know what? A lot of units damaged, not a lot killed. Great fight for Maru. If he can take the time to heal up those medevacs, heal that bio before the next engagement. At the same time, Nidus Worm in the main finally getting some Zerglings loaded into it. Ghost and a Widow Mine are there. Dude, SERRAL getting some distractions off. Maru needs to respect this. He has to respect this right now. He has to cloak those ghosts to keep them alive. 2 Lings at the mineral line starting to tear apart a few of those SCVs. You got to be careful, Maru. You cannot let this get out of hand. The big thing Maru has to do is deny the vision, but he's left a borrowed Zergling in that base that he doesn't even know about. And that is a very real problem. Because if you let SERRAL get, say, a bunch of lurkers in your main, that could be a game-winning move. SERRAL's out there with 2 Infestors. They're burrowing around. That one does go into scan. Bit of a mistake there for him. He's got 2 Vipers as well. Plus 2 Rangers on the way as well as the Seismic Spines and the Lurkers. He immediately rebuilds one of the Infestors. Nidus Worm goes back up in the main. It goes down. I think SERRAL's lost vision of that main base now. Indeed, he has. Widow Mine takes out a few Zerglings. SERRAL being forced back. SERRAL's taking the bottom right already. He's taking his gold as well. But he's looking to overwhelm this army. Oh! Infestor in the rear with the gear. A follow-up fungal would be nice. That Infestor actually survived. He's going to reburrow it to get ready to come in one more time. Oh, that fungal was big. Great catch there. Scan goes down, but SERRAL has already diverted away. He snuck in behind enemy lines. At this point, Maru will not expect an Infestor to be that deep. It is very unlikely for there to be an Infestor in there. That is why he has not noticed it. Bio coming forward, the Ghost there as well. Oh, he gets a second fungal, Maru! Oh, Maru! Just when he's getting up to 5 bases, taking massive losses. If SERRAL can push in, he can finish this game right here. If he can deny these bases and keep Maru on 4 bases, he will get overwhelmed. But Maru with the Widow Mines, the Ghosts, and the Medevacs microing well. He has a giant rally of units. They just have a long way to go. They've got to come all the way from the south. That being said, it takes forever for SERRAL to reinforce as well. Another fungal goes down, mostly on the medevacs. Ling Bane crashing into the ghosts. The medevacs starting to fall to the hydras. A few of those do go down. Ling's getting some damage. SERRAL is down 4,000 resources and the units lost. He's going to rally forward, get a few more banelings, and try to go again. The Infestors did all spend themselves, but look at this. He's built 3 more behind. He's got a new Infestor there. SERRAL is ready with these ambushes, and he's constantly building new Infestors. Most players, it's one and done. You build Infestors, you lose them. Maybe a few minutes later, you remember to rebuild them. SERRAL is adamant about the big spaces on this map being something you can utilize with Infestors. Normally, you don't have such big spaces, but he realizes you can't build turrets everywhere. You're not going to scan everywhere. Let's try and get these Infestors in. Maru does not see what's going on out there. He needs sensor towers and turrets, but they're not ready just yet. Ling's coming south to deny that turret. He wants to keep this open for the Infestor. He gets scanned though. The Infestor goes down. First good catch there for Maru. There's another one here. He sees that as well. Looks like SERRAL's Infestors are being caught. The jig is up. Maru realizes that these Infestors are here now, but oh no, Maru not evacuating his workers. Big mistake for Maru there. Losing 17 workers command center, forced to lift. I do think that Infestor got sniped as well. I think that Marauder just went and killed it. So it looks like he does take out another Infestor. There's still one up north. It gets scanned as well. He's going to unburrow it to run away. It is a little faster when it's out of the ground. Still 3 Infestors on the map, 3 more building. SERRAL is basically saying, I'm going to set up these forward Infestor ambushes on your side of the map. Great Widow Mine friendly fire with the Ling Bane ambushing Maru. Maru not pre-spread at all. Double Parasitic Bomb goes down. The Vipers barely get out of there before the snipes can land. All those medevacs get popped. There are only 2 medevacs on the map right now. This is a disaster. He's got to be careful. SERRAL's going to unburrow Fungal, but he's got no units to capitalize on it. He had enough energy for a second Fungal, but the EMP denies that. And what started as looking like an ambush, if he doesn't have Lingbane to capitalize, these 2-3 Hydras are not enough to take out that bio. MARU holding his own in a legendary fashion. This man has caught more Fungals in the last minute than a soldier in the Battle of Verdun. This is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know, actually, was Verdun that swampy? I guess we're more like Ypres? What's it called? The one that's spelt with the Y at the start. Screw pronouncing Belgian places. No one can pronounce Belgian names that's not from Belgium. In the top left, we've got that command center up. If he can establish this, that would be amazing. He's trading better than SERRAL, but not massively. SERRAL is traded very well considering it is a bio versus Lingbane game. Infesta is there. It gets scanned barely. He's got to be very careful. Actually, I don't think it got scanned. I think it was just the sensor tower that saw it. The turret's going to finish, though, and reveal some of these units, which are misrallied. Oh, looks like that Infesta could go down. MARU not paying attention right now. Letting that Infesta escape. Big problem there. In the bottom, Liberator denying this base, realizing that SERRAL is trying to steal the resources from his side of the map. It's a smart move for SERRAL. He's even got an Infesta hiding to the north. But if SERRAL can't deny this top left, his banker's not that big. He hasn't been at 100 workers this whole time. SERRAL needs to keep taking good fights. If at any point MARU just shuts him down, it's a very real problem. Now, there's 5 lurkers out. They are thinking about popping out here. And seeing that many ghosts, he realizes burrowing is a death trap. So he just pulls away. SERRAL defuses a Widow Mine in the center, starts to clear up. And notice this is about clearing up territory, guys. If he gets rid of the turrets, it sets up room for the Infestors to do stuff later. Oh, Banelings took a big Widow Mine hit, but he gets good parasitic bombs. Does take out a few of these Liberators. Takes out some of those Widow Mines on the way out as well. These fights might not be directly cost efficient, but now there's no detection here, which means Infestors can sneak back in there and here. MARU needs to be methodical about replacing the turrets, getting this vision up, and spreading his units across. I'd like to see a Lib up here, Lib spread here and here. Right now, he's not replacing turrets. Infestors have been a mainstay in this game. Most Zergs would have run out of Infestors by now. SERRAL has lost 4. He's still got 6 on the map. He's got 1 there. He's got 1 there. He's got 1 there. They're everywhere. He is all over the map right now, and he is showing some of the most methodical Infestor obsession that I have ever seen. It is a fantastic way to adjust and adapt to this map. I don't think a lot of Zergs would have thought of this ahead of time. But you can tell from the way SERRAL's playing, he clearly thought of this before the game started. He clearly was like, hey, big map, wide open spaces, I need to get a lot of Infestors. Also, playing to his advantage, Spirit made him practice this map with him before his group stage match on day 3 against Solar. SERRAL spent that whole morning playing Radhuset Station over and over again against Spirit, so he has a lot more recent practice on this map than MARU might have. Nice lurker damage, takes out a lot of Marines and a few SCVs. The lurker arrests in the north, finding an opening. Do we have a Great Aspire, guys? We do, but he's not used it yet. You might be wondering why. The answer is very clear. There's Mass Ghost Bio. Mass Ghosts, not bad against Broodlords. Liberator in the north was denying this base. Looks like the Corruptors will finally be taking that out. These Corruptors are not to morph into Broodlords. Well, maybe. He could, but I don't think he will. It's kind of dangerous. Obviously, you could cover them with good Infestor micro, but that's easier said than done. Liberator's going to take out that Infestor. 6 Infestors have gone down in this game. New Infestor creeping forward in the south. Bio Ghost moving forward. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's his vision, guys. Another scan goes down. Oh my god, MARU barely missing the Infestor. Oh my god, he unburrows, lands a nice fungal. I think MARU can get out though. If he just picks up. Oh, he does lose about 4 ghosts there. Most of the bio spreads back very nicely though. MARU holding firm. The ghost pull back to that choke point. Oh, lovely defense by MARU. But the Corruptors take out all the libs and medevacs. And remember, you're meant to trade much better than the Zerg as the game goes on because Terran infrastructure is expensive. Despite that, only 3,000 resources in the units lost between the two of them. What the hell? SERRAL playing extreme efficiency. MARU, honestly, guys, this map's meant to be Zerg favored because Zerg can just blow this base up, then Remax, run in here, blow here, and then they can take these rocks down, open these minerals, and run into the base. I was talking to SERRAL about this earlier in the tournament after he told me about his practice with Spirit. He said, oh yeah, that's pretty smart, but he's apparently not focusing on it because he's got double fungal bailing on the ghosts. MARU did not replace those turrets over here, guys. Remember, we were talking about how he has to replace those turrets, but he didn't have them up yet. He was just building a new line. And SERRAL gets in there and punishes him. MARU absolutely should have had a Raven by now, guys. He's got 3 starports. One of those should have had a Tech Lab. I don't want to be the guy who agrees with Twitch chat because you guys are 90% of the time wrong. YouTube commenters, Why don't pros just build a Raven more? And most of the time, it's not worth it. But in this game, on this map, against this Infestor Ambush Obsession, yeah, 100% a Raven is worth it. Not only worth it, it is a necessity. If MARU doesn't get a Raven, SERRAL is going to keep finding these openings. Because look, he's running in, clearing the mines and turrets, running away. And you know he's going to do it down here, clear that turret. He already cleared the other ones that were trying to build out front. How many turrets have died this game? Already, we've seen 9 missile turrets die. That's not including the ones that were building that got killed, which is even more. And once again, another turret goes down, a few SCVs going down, the Lurker Ass being annoying, the Ling Bane Ultra down here as well. Now, SERRAL has a gigantic bank, guys. MARU has to find extreme efficiency, and he has to weather the storm. Now, he's been hit by about 27 fungals already, and he's only killed 9 Infestors for it. SERRAL has been winning the Infestor versus Bio Ghost game. If MARU can just kind of realize this is the one play SERRAL has going for him in this late game, if you can not get hit by any more of those fungals, I think MARU can definitely win this game. The fact that he's defended this base is great. The problem is, of course, that SERRAL is mining out this base and this base. On the other hand, SERRAL took forever to take the gas down here, so at least there's some gas that will be available later. This base, he's only got 13 out of 16. He should have like 20 workers here. And more importantly, you can't really mine this as SERRAL because a single tank or lib up there can deny your mining. So you still have this gold base, but as MARU, you need to basically completely mine out the top left, then move to the gold, and then you need to be more efficient than SERRAL by 2 bases because SERRAL gets these 2 extra bases of mining. And that is bloody difficult to deal with. MARU will need extreme efficiency in this game. Infestor does get taken out in response there, but a few abducts killing Liberators. Dude, the fact that SERRAL's keeping it neck and neck and the units lost is insanely impressive. MARU, his composition is 16 Ghosts, 8 Marauders, 28 Marines, 3 Libs right now. So he's going away from the Liberators since they aren't finding success. He's lost 15 Libs for very little value. He's decided Libs aren't the play. The thing is, Libs are one of the best anti-Infestor units in the game. That's a good move there. MARU's trying to take center control, looking like he wants to take the gold base, but he hasn't mined out the top left. And this is that mobility advantage that we were talking about. I really feel like MARU... Wait, where's this Nidus? He's using Nidus Worms to defend and reinforce his bases, is SERRAL. Liberator still being a bit of a bag of D's over here. SERRAL will come down with the Corruptors, kill that Liberator, and then pull back. Try to get back on the mining. Nicely done. I really feel like SERRAL, if he breaks these rocks, it only takes you 4 drone trips to kill these minerals, and then you're into his production. I think that's such an easy win condition, because if you're attacking in there and attacking the top, that's amazing. Conversely, I could be completely wrong, because he could feel if I tear that down, it's too easy for Terran to push down here and deny this base. And I really want to mine that base out, so I'm using these mineral wall as protection. 3 medevacs go down instantly to the Corruptors and the Widow Mine friendly fire. Oh my god, MARU, you can't leave this base undefended. Oh no! MARU leaves himself bare open in the top left side of the map right now. Ling Bane does take out a lot of these SCVs. 15 workers go down, make it 16. Oh my lord. Yeah, you can't defend that base and the gold at the same time. MARU's making a classic mistake right now. I've talked about this. I remember casting him against SERRAL on... What was the map that had the Curse of the Urubu on it? Green kind of map. Babylon? I think it was Babylon. So on Babylon, I remember he made this mistake versus SERRAL in one of these tournaments as well, one of the online tournaments last year, where he kept trying to expand to 2 opposite corners, and it allowed SERRAL to basically get free kills on one side while MARU's army was entrenched on the other. And then he'd pull too much army to respond, and then SERRAL would strike on the other side. And that's exactly what SERRAL's doing. He's even getting rid of this planetary, denying some of the minerals that are remaining up there. It's only about 1,600 minerals, but this opens up territory. It opens up the ability to keep doing these run-bys in this multi-prong. He's going to attack the south at the same time. MARU's much better prepared on the south. MARU needs a good fight. He's got turrets, he's got ghosts, he's got bio, the planetaries, and the bio and the ghosts pulling back. Those Corruptors flying over the turrets. That was a bad fight for SERRAL. Great hold for MARU. MARU takes his first significant advantage in the units lost. 5,000 resources there. He's also, of course, had the Iron Bank for a long time. He's still got 7 orbitals, and now he can run forward and deny this base. If he can deny this base and actually get these minerals himself, MARU definitely could win this game. I say that looking down a 12,000 bank against a 2,000 bank. Obviously, a 10k bank advantage for SERRAL is disgusting, but remember that SERRAL's bases will mine out faster. Right now, he's mining more, but how many of these bases really have minerals left on them? They will start to run dry in the next few minutes. And then about 32 minutes, I believe, is when SERRAL's going to completely run out of minerals. Maybe a little before that. Maybe closer to 30 minutes. So SERRAL's burning bright right now, but he needs to get more done, and he needs to either find efficiency or kill MARU off, one or the other. Losing that base in the bottom is a problem. SERRAL's going to try and take this top left side. It's an orbital, no planetary. There's nothing defending here. Oh my gosh, you got to be careful, MARU. You can't be leaving these SCVs unguarded. SERRAL being very sneaky right now. He says, if you're going to deny my bottom base, I'll take the top left. And honestly, if he can mine these minerals out, that would be amazing for him. As I said, MARU should not be able to control both sides at once. MARU does find this base. He's going to deny it. Does that open up an opportunity down here, though? All he's got is a few Widow Mines, turrets, and libs. Does get a hatchery kill in the top left side of the map. 3 hatcheries have died this game. Infestor gets caught by the scans. Does a spite fungal. Doesn't really kill anything. It's just annoying. High-sec auto-tracking and +2 ship weapons starting up for MARU, rounding out those upgrades. Surprised he didn't already have those, to be honest. Planetary or new command center in the top left. Ultra Baneling's going to roll in. Baneling's going to think about this. Yeah, bad fight for SERRAL, I feel, because the command center can always lift. And if you attack around that corner, you're going to get sniped to death. Good pullback for MARU, though. SERRAL's going to rethink this and maybe think about diving the bottom side if he splits this army up. Oh, look at this. He's going to move south. A few Lings going forward. He's going to try and pick off some of these turrets. Beautiful spready on the Zerglings. Those Lings going to go up back over here to this left side, saying, why attack with my whole army when I can distract you with just a few Lings, forcing scans, picking off a few SCVs. Does accidentally click those back with his army. Bit of a mistake there for SERRAL. He's only got 1 Infestor on the map. It gets scanned right now. He's rebuilding 3 more Infestors. SERRAL's Infestors aren't finding value any longer, and you can see the resources lost is now 9,000 in favor of MARU, who's denying yet another base. Dude, if he can keep doing this, this is massive. Abduct comes in, does take out a Widow Mine, but I think he lost another Viper there, guys. Looks like a total of no Vipers have died this game. Are these the same 2 Vipers from the early game? What the hell? He's got a 5-kill and a 1-kill Vipers. Vipers aren't even meant to get kills, man. Widow Mine there is going to fire. Nice spread from SERRAL. Oh, he gets a fungal. He's going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 ghosts. And he's going to have to pull back through the lib zones. It's not free, man. He gets a command center. That doesn't cancel and lift. Oh, God. MARU's taking a lot of SCV losses. MARU's got to be careful, dude. SERRAL is finding value in this game. Still 9,000 resources lost advantage for MARU. Remember, SERRAL has a gigantic bank to work with. That hatchery gets canceled again. This hatchery is getting really expensive. It hasn't paid off yet. He's lost it once. He's cancelled it 2 or 3 times. But he has pulled MARU's entire army to the top left. He's going to try to capitalize by rolling through these turrets. Corruptor Viper comes in over the libs. He's going to abduct a few of these Liberators out of siege mode. The Ling Ultra clearing a lot of the turrets. He's now going after the Planetary. The Banelings blowing up those SCVs could be massive. A bunch of the SCVs do get out, but he takes out the Planetary and moves south, taking out so many turrets at the same time. Still down 10,000 resources and the units lost. But that, as long as he maintains that 10,000 deficit, it means SERRAL is trading pretty evenly in these fights, which is always going to favor the Zerg player, at least in the short term. Hatchery in the top left going down as well. MARU right now needs to ignore the top left, even ignore this base. Just deny those with like a Liberator or something and focus on cementing his position down here, get a new Planetary up, mine out the gold, mine out these minerals, and then just weather the storm, because SERRAL's income is dropping. Only a few minerals left there. Only a few minerals there. Gold's out. Few minerals there. So he's got 12 mineral patches, all of which are at like 400, 500, 800, and this one's actually completely gone. Only 1 mineral patch left. He does have a few mineral patches in the back of his base, but SERRAL's running out of bank right now, and that means knowing that MARU is going to be more efficient and mining these 2 bases out, it lights a fire under SERRAL's butt. SERRAL feels like he needs to do something. Will he make Broodlords? Will he look for efficiency with some other composition? I don't know what his plan is here. He doesn't have the ability to get any more fungals off. He just keeps losing Infestors. He's lost 15 of them now. The Bio Ghost pushing him back. Snipe's trying to go down, but the Ultras pull back quickly enough. Infestor in the top left, hanging out in turret range. 5 more Infestors are building. The Infestor has been the GOAT for SERRAL this game. The GOAT using his favorite GOAT unit. He's going to come in on the top and clear these turrets again. These turrets are really adding up the value for SERRAL. Most of it is from killing SCVs and turrets. He's now killed 33 turrets. That's 3,300 minerals worth. Not including the dozen or so that have died while they were building. SCV losses. 49 drones to 102 SCVs. Also massive for SERRAL. So it's breaking through the front areas, getting Lings in the back line, clearing the turrets when the army isn't there. That's what's really helping SERRAL right now. A couple Banelings roll forward. Widow Mine does land on the Overseers, but not able to take him out. SERRAL hanging out here. Where are those Infestors? 2 of them up there to the middle. He's got them kind of burrowed all over the map right now. Lingbane in the top left. He's once again going to evacuate that top base. SERRAL, man, that top base is just losing him hatchery money over and over. Before he was able to blow up the gold base, if he could do this again, maybe this is all worth it, with the top left base being like a big distraction. Queens pop out to deal with the lib, but as the bio comes back, he's like, oh god, get me out of here, man! Nidus Worm saves most of the units, but not all of them. Maru's coming back to the south. SERRAL's saying, okay, you've got enough units up there, you can't defend, but the ghost snipes are pretty good. EMPs are fantastic on those Vipers. The bio doing what it can. The Banelings are going to roll forward, but the Widow Mines take out most of the Banelings. The Ultras wash up on Maru's army, but the Ultraling does deny a bit of the mining, gets a few of the SCVs. The units lost tab in that top left, though. That's a 5,000 resource swing in favor of MARU. He's now 15,000 resources ahead. SERRAL's lost 72,000. MARU has lost 58,000. It's a big advantage for MARU, and it's an advantage that he needs, remember. MARU cannot really afford to build too many more turrets or anything like that in this game. He has to realize the minerals are mining out on this map, and he has to get some stuff done. Nidus Worm popping in the back of the base. A great idea for SERRAL to start wearing on the production. MARU has to pick up a double drop and go back inside that main base. Nidus Worm popping out more queens to drop creep and try to deal with the Liberators in the top left. There is an Infester ready there. Maybe a bit too close for that Infester. They'll scan for the creep, which means they could kill the Infestors. The Infester moves south. Wise idea. Liberator is going to be dealt with by the Spore, potentially. I'm not sure if that Spore can reach, actually. Good reposition. Very annoying Liberator being a big nuisance. Ling Bane rotating north. Oh, fungal. Maru! He catches the Infester. He does spread his bio, but he's got a lot more bio coming forth. This could be a good fight for Maru. The Lings get a decent engage on some of those units, but I think that was still a good fight for Maru, as he's now 16,000 resources lost ahead. Liberator goes down in this northern base, but SERRAL, he's long distance mining. He's mining that out. On the south, though, MARU is getting these minerals out of these bases. He's making mass bio. He's on 20 to 30 army supply deficit. MARU needs the efficiency. If he can then, after mining these bottom bases, move to the top left and steal these minerals, I think he's actually away scot-free. However, if SERRAL, with his 3k mineral, 2k gas bank, can mine some more minerals over there, he's still mining a few minerals on his side. I thought he'd be out of minerals by now, and he mostly is, but notice SERRAL's still got a tiny bit there. He's got like over 1,000 minerals there, and he's still got a few thousand minerals back at his fourth base that hasn't been chewed up yet. Oh, Maru dives for the base denial. If he gets caught by fungal and parasitic bomb on the way out, though, it's definitely not worth it. That is a big if. Right now, those are queens, not infestors that are burrowed. Scans almost gets the queens, but not quite. I think he thought they were infestors for a moment. Widow Mines do take out a bunch of these guys, but nice surround on the Marauders with the Lings. Good pullback for SERRAL. Doesn't want to overcommit. 17,000 resource lost advantage. SERRAL is no longer maxed. He does have the money to max out, but he's kind of thinking about what he should do next. He's got to spend his last bank on his next army, and then he has to be efficient from then on out. MARU is stealing the minerals. Oh god. SERRAL was ahead for a long time in this game. The Infestor ambushes were fantastic, but MARU playing the worst map in the map pool like an absolute god gamer right now. And look at that. He's made SERRAL panic. He scans, and he sees Broodlords are morphing. Now, what do you do here as MARU to deal with the Broods? You've got 14 Ghosts for snipes, but do you go Thors or do you go Vikings? Normally, you want one of those units. I do think Vikings are amazing. I've spoken to SERRAL many times over the years. He's always said, if you can have enough Vikings to 1 or 2 shot Broodlords, it really helps. If you don't have that, it's hard. MARU pushing in right now. Oh my god. The Queen Broodlord is getting a very efficient fight there. Nice fungal on some of those Marauders. The Broodlord's looking really good. Remember, the Broodlords are quite fast now. I love the way, look at the way SERRAL's rotating his Infestors in one at a time. He doesn't want to expose all of them to getting EMP'd. He even dodges an EMP there, but he's picking off a lot of these Marauders with these Broodlords. Another Marine goes down. Some Widow Mines start to get taken out as well. SERRAL is playing a very nice game of StarCraft. He's got an Overseer following those Broodlords. Those 16 Broodlords, now only 15 of them. So I guess, did he lose one? No, it was always 15, I guess. Get some very good damage. 160 army supply for SERRAL, but he has spent his bank entirely. Right now, MARU is mining more resources. MARU still has the top left, but MARU trying to fight without his Vikings. Comes forward for the snipes. The fungal does land. A couple snipes did take out a Broodlord, but he's losing a lot of his Ghosts and Bio here. He's only got 2 Vikings. MARU is losing this fight right now. A lot of people say that the Bio Ghost with just a few Vikings can deal with this, but he hasn't waited for many Vikings. It's still a heavy Marauder army that doesn't really do anything except soak up damage, and the Ghosts are struggling to get in range because of the Infestor micro. Notice SERRAL spreading his Infestors. He's not giving any easy opportunities. I'd like to see a Cloaked Ghost try to flank this army, maybe land a big EMP on the Infestor pack in the back. That might be the way to break this open. MARU has to abandon the top left. I don't think he's shown he cannot really deal with this army. unless he gets snipes on the Broodlords, and that is a big if, because those Infestors, if they fungal his ghosts, he's done for. Oh my god, fungal landing on those Vikings. The Broodlords trying to kite backwards, the Corruptors pulling back, snipes starting to land on those Broodlords. Big fungals landing, Banelings rolling into the Marauders right now, trying to go after the Marines and the Ghosts running away. The Corruptors are just killing medevacs because they already killed all the Vikings. There's still a pack of Broodlords in the skies, but the snipes are starting to land. A few of those Broodlords going down at the same time. The Infestors have landed so many fungals. If he can save his Infestors and Vipers, that was a miraculous fight for MARU. He may be down 19,000 resources, but he just wiped the floor with MARU's army. And MARU is still down 24 army supply at the end of it. This orbital in the top left will go down. This is a problem. MARU has 45 minerals there. MARU has 100 minerals there, and his gold base is out. MARU cannot rebuild. MARU's building 5 Vikings. He's going to have 6 Vikings, a Liberated, 3 Marauders, 7 Ghosts. He will not have any Marines, and he'll only have 5 medevacs. He's going to try and mule out to long-distance mine these patches, but MARU is in the gutter, whereas SERRAL, he's still got 1,000, maybe, okay, 600 minerals there. Another 800 there. That's 1,400 more minerals. 800 there as well. Wow, that's 2,200 minerals. And he's got 400 there, 2,600 minerals left to mine. EMP lands, but only on a single Infestor. SERRAL's been so good with that Infestor micro all game long. It has truly been a mobile spellcaster war this game. And it is SERRAL who has been absolutely oppressive with his Infestor usage. Absolutely oppressive. He has been all over MARU from start to finish. The Infestor coming forward right now. He's looking for a big fungal. This is MARU's last army. If MARU cannot secure that top left, he's dead. If he secures the top left, MARU could win this game. But if he cannot secure the top left, he's screwed. And SERRAL is saying, I will steal any resources I can. Every 5 minerals I steal from this base of the couple thousand that are there is game-changing, because that's resources you can't take. MARU's like, F you, I'm going to take those, because he's got no other minerals. He's going to build a Raven, finally, at the 37-minute mark, realizing he will need that. Fungal lands on a few of the Ghosts. Broodlord's starting to snipe. Notice SERRAL is not exposing himself to risk. He's picking off the SCVs from afar. He's setting up an Overseer in Pervert mode. Now, you might wonder, is it actually called that? Yes. An eyeball pops out of its head with extra eyeballs attached to it to watch from the shadows. Come on, guys. If you don't think that's perving, you might need to go see help, guys. If they don't know you're watching, it's probably inappropriate. That's a good rule there. Viper does get sniped. Nice catch there for MARU. He's looking for a snipe on that Infestor as well, but the Broodlords land a big hit. You got to be real careful, because those Overseers, another one does pop an eyeball out the top of its head. If we've got any mods watching, if they can extend the ad break, because an ad's about to autoplay, that'd be great for anyone watching live. But oh my god, Viking Lib, Ghost, trying to be as annoying as possible. Broodlords coming forward. The Corruptors are there as well. The Vikings, if they can avoid the fungal parasitic bomb, there's only 7 Corruptors against 8 Vikings. The Vikings do have 2-3. Ooh, Ghost coming forward. Man, he just, 1 EMP on all those Infestors. There's no Vipers left. If there's no fungal, MARU can win this. But SERRAL is being elusive right now with his Infestors. He's running him in. He's running him out. He's not presenting any risk. Oh my god, is that a Burrowed Infestor? He's got a Burrowed Infestor behind. SERRAL runs forward in a very dangerous clump. SERRAL on the warpath right now. He's chasing him. He does lose an Infestor, but he fungals those units, and most importantly, he scares him off the space. SERRAL stealing these resources, guys. SERRAL doesn't want to build a hatchery there. He's like, I can't spare the minerals. But even long-distance mining, I'm stealing these minerals. I'm going to keep transferring all of my extra workers. Every time he gets idle workers, he just goes Control-click idle worker, sends them over there. He's still got these 650 minerals in reserve there as well, being very slowly mined by a single worker. MARU trying to steal minerals with mules. Remember, MARU has no minerals left on his side of the map. I said SERRAL would mine out earlier than MARU, and we're kind of correct in that this base still stands. But funnily enough, SERRAL saved some minerals in the back, and he focused on stealing the minerals from the forward bases. And that was absolutely vital. Rainer called it before the series started. He said the secret to beating MARU in late game, because MARU is just so impossible to beat there, is you have to mine out his bases when you've got the early mid-game advantage. And I wonder where he got that from. Where do you guys think Rainer heard that? Doesn't give me any credit. No, I've shouted at him enough times. I used to harass him every event I went to. I was like, hey, Rainer, how about stealing their resources when they're turtling? And he was like, oh, you know, it's not that easy, pig. It's, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, I know I'm a bit of a backseat gamer, but please, I'm really happy that the top players, after the turtle meta back on the Glittering Ashes pool 2 years ago, pretty much every one of the top Zergs now steals their opponent's resources when they see the Terrans turtling, and it really has evolved their game to the next level. SERRAL has now sucked up a few thousand extra resources. He's got 2 Vipers, 11 Infestors, 11 Broodlords. He's still got 8 Corruptors. He's got a few Lings on the ground, and he's got those 2 Queens for Transfuse. I don't know if there's any way you could take this army out. With what? A Marauder, 7 Ghosts? You need to make a nuke. MARU's best way to win this game is to make a nuke And then he's got to run across stage, kick SERRAL in the shins, and then it could work. But you can see now, basically securing this base, the moment MARU gave up on this base, he was essentially waving the white flag. Now what he can do now is force a draw. What he has to do is he needs to wait for SERRAL to spend all of his money, kill every single corruptor when the battle happens, and then he can just float a command center to the corner and force a draw. Now to do this, MARU has to be a bit of a tryhard, a bit of a virgin, but I would not hold any of that against him, because if you're in the finals of a $500,000 tournament, and I think the difference is 150k first place, 70k second place, I would be willing to drag the game out for 20 minutes in order to do that. Unfortunately, MARU doesn't really like his chances of doing that. He knows SERRAL's very patient. It's going to be hard to trap SERRAL into doing that. And especially with SERRAL still mining about 1,000 or more extra minerals, he could probably build another 6 or 7 corruptors, especially if SERRAL saves a bit of money in the bank. So even if the fight happens, he loses his corruptors, he always has enough money to rebuild. I think he could do it. MARU realized there was almost no chance of winning here. If we rewind a tiny bit, he scanned to confirm and he was like, oh, there's still minerals up here that you're mining. You've already got so many corruptors. What have I got? A few Vikings, a few ghosts. He just realized his chances of forcing that draw were very low, number one. And number two, it would have involved him sitting at home behind turrets and planetaries and waiting for SERRAL to screw up for the next 20 minutes, which would have been very painful for himself and the viewers. So shout out to MARU, the mad lad. Scans, realizes he has a very low chance of forcing a draw, and says, you know what, let's just go game 3. All right, well, that was a crazy game. SERRAL comes out on top. But man, he had to work for it. MARU playing an excellent game too, dude. That may be one of the best macro games of Terran vs. Zerg I've ever seen. It's so interesting as well, because like it's one of these things where like, oh, that map's so broken, it's so bad for Terran. MARU, if he just didn't get hit by so many fungals, I think he can win that game. Not only can, but should win that game. Because I think if he didn't get hit by so many fungals, I think he would have had more center control earlier, which meant it would have been harder for SERRAL to hit the top left. And who knows, maybe if he had that center control, like had the whole middle ridgeline enforced with planetaries and turrets and sensor towers, I don't know if SERRAL could really deny the gold base at the same time either. And if you've got center control, it's much easier for you to deny the middle bases. It's harder for SERRAL to steal as many resources as he did. Imagine if SERRAL steals even 1,000 less resources from that bottom base in that last map, and then MARU has an extra 1,000 minerals. And SERRAL has 1,000 less as well. Remember, it's not just, when it comes to those middle bases, it's not just, oh, I have a few more minerals, it's also you have that many minerals less. Like, it's a game changer. So I really do think that was an excellent display from both players. Now, obviously, MARU finds himself down 0-2, which is terrible, but it's back on his map pick. Hard led, Terran is heavily favored here. And we'll see how SERRAL tries to address that. Does he just play a standard macro game? So far, he all-in'd in game 1 on MARU's map. And, well, not really all in, but a very heavy timing attack, a very committed timing attack. It did really well, got him way ahead in game 1. Game 2, he played standard macro on a greedy map that is the Zerg map. Game 3, back on the Terran map, does he follow the same method, or does he change it up again? Ling going down, great harassment from MARU so far. Spore Trick and a Zergling is always a good way to start. Of course, SERRAL has gone 16 hatchery, 18 gas, 17 pool, which is why the queens are so late. It would have been very safe if it was, say, a 2-Rax Reaper opening or something like that. Now, the Marine did actually damage the Overlord, but the Overlord just went to the high ground. Marine goes back to the high ground, and the Overlord's like, lol, saw your 3rd command center and gets to leave. This is what I would call a classic SERRAL scout. A SERRAL scout that obnoxiously sees everything you're trying to hide and gets away and laughs at you at the same time. You know, we used to call them a SERRAL Zergling in Zerg vs. Zerg for a good reason. Guys, is there sludge water down there? There is some slow-moving sludge water on the bottom of hard lead. I guess this map is hard lead. There's a lot of industry going on. So do you think the idea is that's like industrial runoff? Since this map is basically like one big open-cut mine, right? There's like, I know that there's definitely industrial stuff going on. This is the map with like Thors being constructed in the middle and stuff. It's not like a super mining facility, but there's definitely, yeah, there's definitely mining stuff going on. SERRAL going for a very fast Roach Warren. He's already gone Ling Speed. It's rare to go a Roach Warren this early when you play Ling Speed. Normally it's one or the other. But he's going to use these Lings to go around, get a Marine kill. Very nicely done for SERRAL. Gets inside the base. Remember, he already saw it was a 3rd command center. So he has the information to know exactly what Maru's up to. 37 workers, about to be 38. Second and third gas on the way. 2 more overlords. Serral's going for it. Serral's going to go for a Roach Ravager Zergling attack. Now he's going to use 10 more Zerglings to try and distract Maru. Maru knows where that third base is. If he gets in here and sees no drones on that third, it's a massive tell. But because those Lings already surprised him, he's trying to move around and mop up Zergling harassment. An Overlord does get sniped. Serral has to build another one. There's already 5 Roaches on the way, though. Wait, is it just 5 Roaches? Is he doing one of these attacks where you just make everyone into a Ravager? It's like a mass Ling all-in with a few Ravagers? It looks like he might. We're going to find out in a moment. No, he queues up 3 more Roaches. He was just supply blocked because of the Overlord. So Serral will have a few more Roaches. He's going to go 9 to 10 Roaches in total. Morph them all into Ravagers, mass Ling behind it. You need the 3 gases so you can make as many Ravagers as possible. This Viking should be a tell. Where are the Queens? Why have Queens not arrived to kill you yet? Maru should have his Spidey senses starting to tingle. He sees it. He sees it. Maru sees a Roach. He's gone 8 Hellions. 8 Hellions are terrible at fighting Roaches, but they are quite good at taking down Zerglings. Already 1 Hellion does fall. Trading a Hellion for a Roach is not a bad trade. He does lose a Reaper as well. The trick is, though, you need those Hellions behind your other units. So the Hellions deal with the Lings, your other units deal with the Roaches and the Ravagers. Problem. Liberator is not good versus Ravagers. All it's going to do is slow things down, maybe get a few shots off. He's also only got 3 Marines right now. Oh, golly, that's not good. Factory on a Tech Lab. Tech Lab's almost done. He's going to go for a Siege Tank immediately. Tech Lab just finished. He needs to start that Siege Tank on the left of our screen. Siege Tank has not started building. Okay, it now finally does start. Bile's going to take down these depots. More Ravagers morphing on the front lines, guys. That's 6 Ravagers, about to be 7. Starts biling the bunker, but of course, mass repair will be good enough. Got 2 Marines in either side of these bunkers. The middle bunker will take some big damage as well. Nice mass repair there. Good micro by Maru. The Hellions are waiting behind. If this Ravager Ling comes in, the Hellions will let their flame be known. I like that the Lings attack the right side. The Hellions aren't really getting the big splashies off. Massive biles on the repairing SCVs. Maru pulling back to that one bunker. These Hellions getting some great damage. SCV dodgy. Oh, but it gives up the bunker. Okay, Hellions taking out the Lings. The SCVs trying to block these Ravagers. He doesn't have high ground vision, which means Serral cannot bile the tank. He does bile down a single Hellion. 4 Ravagers are still here. But Maru, if he holds on, he's ahead. He's on 3 command centers right now. His engineering bays are exposed, but that's... it's a hard call to make, but Maru needs to give up those engineering bays. 1-1 is not important. Surviving is he's moving to the low ground. A very dangerous move for Maru. Serral is going to wrap around with the Ling Reinforcer and the Lings from the left side. The Marine Alien gets surrounded. Oh no, Maru with a huge misstep. He thought he needed to defend those engineering bays. He thought he could, but that tank had to stay on the high ground. He needed to give up those engineering bays because remember, he's got 3 command centers. Serral was only on 35 workers, maybe 40 at most against 25 of Terran with 3 mules dropping. You've got Medivacs, Marines, Stim. He would have been able to hang on there. He's going to have 2 Medivacs, Marines, and Stim to counter pressure the moment he stabilizes, and he can rebuild those upgrades. You know Serral doesn't have upgrades of his own, but that is unfortunate. Maru only scanning the third as he's about to leave the game. At least that's a good habit that the Terran pros have when they want to rage quit. They always make themselves scan to make sure they're dead, just in case they've misread the game. And you can see Maru here. He's like, oh god, I screwed it. You're going to see he's going to scan. And seeing that there's any drones on the third at all, he's like, there's no way I'm getting back in here. There's drones popping out. That's going to be full of drones in a second. I'm stuck on 1 base. GG. Serral up 3-0. All right, guys. Maru in the top right now. Down 0 through 3. And it is time to dig deep. Maru going for a low ground barracks into a second proxied barracks. Ooh. Hidden. Overlord's not going to see that. Very nice. Serral going for a 16 hatchery build. We will see the 18 gas and then the 17 spawning pool. You can see he's already rallied these 2 drones. Look at that. You see that drone gets there. 200 minerals just after. Spawning pool instantly goes down. Really clean opening for Serral. The fast Ling speed will help him deflect the Reaper aggression from Maru. Maru, of course, slowing down his command center, usually by about 40 seconds to get the second barracks out. It's interesting that in the last year or 2, we've seen so many more Terran builds. I guess starting maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, Terran's willing to go double gas and delay their command center. Initially, it was against Terran, right? Because we used to always be 1-Rax expand or gas first into 1-Rax expand in TVT. Then Terran started going double gas 1 base in TVT. Then a few years ago in TVP, they started doing double gas one base, delaying the command center. And now even in Terran vs. Zerg, it's become somewhat standard. We've even seen a few specialist players go for super fast factory before command center to try and get a really quick Hellion run by on. It's not a common move. It does happen occasionally. Okay, so he sees a Reaper come out. SERRAL knows it's a low ground barracks. So he's already assuming, oh, this is probably a 2-Rex Reaper wall off. So he starts Ling Speed reactively there. He's got Queens, and he's building 6 Zerglings. First Reaper's about to jump in. Second Reaper's not far behind it. Third Reaper's always delayed a little bit because you need that 50 gas, but MARU starts it the second he has the money for it. And this is where MARU needs to dig deep. He needs to get right in there and cause some damage. He's going to find a drone. Nicely done. If you target the drone that's in the middle of the pack, it's really nice. I like that. SERRAL even blocked with that Spore Trick, but a second drone does go down. Ling's trying to trap these Reapers. There is a second Queen on the way. Oh! Oh, he's going to get it! Oh, very nice. SERRAL may lose 2 drones and a Ling, but he kills a Reaper, which really takes the oomph out of this push. The Overlord also scouts the 3rd command center immediately. SERRAL's scouting, dude. I think this was one of the great joys of watching this tournament live. If you didn't watch it, the production was amazing at Katowice. There was a lot of first-person views from the players, and SERRAL's first person was fascinating because he almost always saw the entire map. He always saw exactly what his opponent was doing, and you could see him in real time figuring out what was happening. Another drone goes down there, so it's 3 drones and 3 Zerglings, but another Reaper falls, which spells the end of this Reaper phase of the game. Factory goes down on the natural there, ready to swap onto the reactor. This barracks is, of course, going to float home very slowly. Third hatchery going to move out now. It's more important to just drone up your bases, of course. SERRAL is going up to 4 queens. He's trying to drone up his expansion, which is now almost full of workers. And that third hatchery goes down as a slightly lower priority. Overlord at the front does see the factory ready to swap over onto the reactor. Surprised he doesn't hang around just a little bit longer, but I think he can already assume with the placement of the factory, that's what was going to happen. And look at that! Second and third factory hidden in the back. In the rear with the gears, MARU is going to go for mech. It's game 4. It's time to try something different. Hero Marine absolutely destroyed the group stages with mech. Gumio had some fantastic showings as well. But can MARU make it work against SERRAL? SERRAL traditionally destroys mech. If anyone can find me a single game SERRAL has lost to mech, ever, pro game, I don't care if it's from like when he was still in high school. I'd love to see that game. I still don't remember any. Actually, no. MARU beat him with mech into ghosts in the late game. Ghost mech. Katowice 2022 group stage. I believe he won a map. I don't know if he won the series. I think he lost the series 2-1, but I'm pretty sure he won with ghost mech there once. I think so. Unless that was just the match versus Raynor that I'm thinking of. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it was just a match versus Raynor, but I feel like there's like one example of SERRAL dropping a single map in pro tournaments to mech. Now, so far, the scouting's been denied very well. He didn't really see anything else in the back. SERRAL's going for a lair. That will open up the Overseer scout, which will probably be the first time he sees what's happening. I'd say about 6 minutes 30. We should see an Overseer float in, and he'll realize what's up. Hurricane Thrusters is on the way. That, of course, is an upgrade that gives you extra movement speed for your Cyclones. On 4 factories, 1 with a reactor. He's going to be able to add a lot of Hellions in behind these Cyclones and really trade nicely. SERRAL is going for a Baneley Nest. Uh-oh. You really want a Roach Warren against this? It's so much better than Hydras. We were talking about how SERRAL, mentioned this. We saw Raynor, Scarlet, other players trying to play Hydras against mech in the group stages. SERRAL said, oh, I don't think it's bad, but Roaches is probably what I would do. He kind of hinted at the fact that he thought Roaches was the better play, using maybe an Infestor or 2 to lock those Cyclones' mobility down and jump on top of them. I do think Roachling Bane could be fantastic. You can play Hydras. Cyclones are hiding on the tower. He still doesn't know what's up, does he? I don't think SERRAL has any idea. Let's go to SERRAL's vision. Yeah, no Roach Warren. He's got double Evo coming up. He seems to have no idea what's going on. Now he sees the Cyclones. He realizes what's up. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Watching from SERRAL's camera right now. He's going to start 1-1 upgrades. Let's go back to everyone's view. Hellions go north. They clean up a lot of Zerglings there. He has plenty of Banelings, and he's got a lot of Queens to stabilize, but SERRAL has still not built any sort of Roach Warren or Hydra Den. He's going to go around the left side with a lot of the Zerglings, but right now the Queens are falling. Oh, man. Multiple Queens going down. Only 1 Cyclone and 2 Hellions have gone down so far. I do like that scan on the left, clearing up a little bit of the creep, pushing back SERRAL's map control. Doesn't go quite as deep as he could to clear out those creep, but of course he doesn't want to get surrounded. Ling's running into the third base. SCV evac is nice. Oh, Cyclones move out front. Maru's got to be careful though. Those SCVs do body block. Very nicely done. Cyclone Aliens over here trying to get away before those Banelings can connect. Does take out a bunch of Zerglings and a few of these Banelings, but oh, here comes the surround. SERRAL with a big Ling surround. Maru. Oh, he should have known those units were coming in for the surround. That was a little bit sloppy, a bit overly aggressive, getting the units surrounded. On the other hand, Maru keeps most of his Cyclones alive. He's still got enough Hellions to defend them from the Zerglings. The Queens are out of energy right now. Oh god, this is a scary moment. The Roach Warren is only now starting. SERRAL being so greedy, trying to do this with just Ling Bane, and while that is technically possible, it is something that is very dangerous, and I feel like the Roach Warren really cements your position. 61 drones for SERRAL, 69 for Maru. Remember, the trick against Battle Mech is you do not need to have a bigger economy, but you need to always have a larger army. If you ever get caught with a smaller army, you will lose the game. They will pick your units off like crazy. Ling Bane flank coming in from the north. He's going to try and wrap around here, but the other units on the left are trapped on the corner. Can SERRAL actually lock these units in place? Maru was fantastic micro. Dude, I didn't realize Groundskeeper Willie was driving those Cyclones and Aliens because they got greased up before climbing into the air vents. That was beautiful, man. Really good micro by Maru. 2-to-1 trading. He's miles ahead now. 4th command center starts. He did massively oversaturate his bases, so that's a little bit of a... And he's just sent 6 workers from the 3rd to the main, even though his 3rd's undersaturated. Oh no! Maru with a bit of a mistake there in the chaos of getting this advantage. Maru, he's still in the driver's seat though. The Cyclone Alien is trading very well. He's only got 1 Hellion though. You do not want to throw these Cyclones away. You want to keep making SERRAL attack into you so you can kite his units down. But unfortunately, that hatchery there could be an issue. If he breaks the rocks and goes right, he might get surrounded. Ling Run By comes in, kills 4 SCVs. Right now, Maru has Blue Flame. Moves right, cancels the hatchery. He's going to be careful. Remember what I said? He can get trapped if SERRAL splits his army on 2 sides. He's going to come down. That Roach Warren is very precariously placed. And when I say precariously, I mean terribly. The Roach Warren gets sniped. SERRAL with a lazy Roach Warren placement. I think that was just a drone that he was sending out to take a gold base, and he changed his mind, because that didn't really make a lot of sense. Oh, Hellion Cyclone ready to catch these Banelings. Maru's on point. He knows that SERRAL's going to try and be doing run-bys and stuff. SERRAL's economy sucks. He's on 59 workers, only now making some more units. Oh, Maru! Getting ambushed in the sight blocker. A little bit dodgy for him. Still an okay trade, though, since he's on 80 workers. Maru definitely just needs to round out his production. He's got 5 factories up. He's adding a lot more tech labs, 1 more reactor here. So he's going from 5 up to 7, 8 factories. Still no starport. The most important thing is he needs to make sure he's solid against run-bys. And the way he split his army is a really good way to do that. But look at this. SERRAL stuck down the right. Oh my god, he's going to open up the back door. SERRAL with a genius maneuver literally just mined Maru's back door. I don't know if Maru noticed that. So Maru thinks he's got him completely pinned on the defensive. SERRAL has just opened up a hole that Maru does not know about. A fantastic idea to get back in this game. SERRAL's economy is still very bad. Okay, that's a good engage for SERRAL. There's no Hellions here. Only a single Hellion in the back is not enough to deal with this. And Maru's not stutter stepping it separately from the Cyclones, so it's not really shooting. You can see it's derping out because it takes much longer to attack than the Cyclones. Even though it can get some good shots off, Maru loses that as well. And oh, the Banelings from that right side. Any hole is a goal. They sneak through that one. 16 workers go down. Luckily, Maru's so far ahead in economy, that's fine. He's building an engineering bay out front. He's got plenty of units. He just needs to keep units there watching for it. He does catch the Baneling Zergling morph on the right side. Looks like he just F2'd though, guys. I think Maru is panicky a little bit. He should be leaving those Hellions there. Morph a Hellbat, leave it in the choke point, something like that. Cyclone and a Hellion gets caught on the outside as well. SERRAL's back in the driver's seat. Despite being behind on economy for so long and taking much worse trades earlier in the game, he's tied that up. 90 army supply against 83 in SERRAL's favor. SERRAL's also up in workers, 82 to 76. Hive and Spire on the way. The man is planning to go Broodlords. Of course, he's anticipating a tank transition, and against a player who has no starport, there's no Viking potential. So going for Broodlords is a great way to preempt Maru's swap from Cyclones into tanks. And of course, Broodlords will outrange the Cyclones pretty hard as well. 8 drones for 3 aliens, not a bad trade at all for Maru. Any more of those would be great. Maru's... He had a massive worker count. He lost it. He's now building more command centers, which is great. That one out front, the 4th base, the 5th command center is on the way. 2-2 upgrades on the way for Maru. +2 Carapace only now starting for SERRAL. Carapace is actually very important against Cyclones. It used to be that armor upgrades were very useless versus mech, but now that we see a lot more cyclones in the mix and armor does affect their new lock-on ability, armor actually becomes very important for Zerg against these compositions that mix a lot of cyclones in. Oh, big Ling run by on the left. No Hellions in position, just tanks and cyclones. No planetary. Massive surround for SERRAL. A few Hellions and cyclones come back. Nice mineral walk on those SCVs, but already... Oh, don't fight, Maru. What are we doing, mate? Maru fights with the SCVs, loses 15 of them. Oh, it would have been 7 or 8, which would have been bad, but it goes from bad to worse for Maru. Maru trying to force his way in the front right now. Maru is actually in an okay spot to play this game out, I feel, but you can tell he doesn't have confidence in the late game. He wants to win right here, right now. The man feels urgency. He feels the threat of SERRAL. Another Ling run by came in that right side. Looks like it took out a few more units. He's being kept on the defensive right now is Maru. Yes, he's got an army in the front center. Yes, he's got a bit of Cyclone Alien on the right, but he's constantly having to divert units home, and that is costing him big time. If Maru didn't lose those workers, I mean, he's lost 39 SCVs, most of which have been rather unnecessary in this game, but SERRAL started it with the sneaky backdoor mining of that, opening that hole up. And now he continues an extra Ling run by on their left side. Maru needs to react. Maru is looking so committed on the front. Oh god, the SCVs need to mineral walk out of there. He only pulls a few of the SCVs away. Cyclone Alien gets surrounded at the same time he gets jumped on the front. SERRAL with some beautiful in and out micro, biling those units. Burrow is almost done. He's going to try and burrow these Lings to be as annoying as possible. A few Lings, or a single Ling, sorry, on the right side is going to get taken out by the SCVs. The Lings take out a Gas Geyser as well. Burrow has finished. SERRAL did not remember to burrow those in time though. Great Aspire, halfway done. +3 melee, +2 ranges on the way. SERRAL's just going to keep doing this. Maru needs to leave a Hellbat on hold position in that door. He's got a tank kind of covering it, but not completely on the left side. Ling's there, burrowing right on top of the Cyclones as well. Maru unable to keep up with the pace of SERRAL. SERRAL is up 3-0, and he is saying, I don't care how bad this early game was. I am in charge. I am large. And I'm sick of people saying that we are the rivalry. This is not a rivalry. I am the nemesis, and you are the victim. You are but fodder for me. He breaks the tank push on the front. At the same time, Cyclones run by, get some good drone kills on the left. Maru's not giving up just yet. Lings, though, those burrowed Lings on the left find their way into that 3rd or 4th mineral line once again. Cyclones dancing around. Remember, if he loses these Cyclones, what's he got left? He's got a few Cyclones and a tank on the right side. SERRAL is losing a lot of units as well. The game is messy, but only a 3,000 resource lost advantage for Maru. And remember, Maru had that advantage from the early game. So he's basically been trading dead even from the early game. If we average it out, everything past the 6 or 7 minute mark, it's been 50-50. And that is not what you want. As a mech player up against the Zerg, Zerg units are so easy to reproduce, to rebuild, and these Lings just keep getting ready. Maru is simply not covering that right side. I don't think you can really wall that off. Maybe you can do it on the low ground. It's very hard to wall off because it's on a ramp, those minerals. But definitely just needs to leave a few units over there on standby and needs to completely stop F2ing. Zerglings running in, trying to take out the tank. The tank should barely survive that one. Indeed it does, but there's more Zerglings there. Look, the moment he leaves, more Lings run in. He wants to finish it. Oh, SERRAL, you nasty boy. Gets that siege tank. 2 Vipers already on the left. Massling, Roach, Ravager. A lot of Banelings coming in behind it as well. And SERRAL is all over Maru. Maru's style is a mass expanding style. It's a style that needs a lot of economy to support this mech production. But his bases are getting cleared. The Blinding Clouds, the Abducts on the Cyclones. SERRAL says any pickoff is a good pickoff right now. I'll take whatever value deal I can get. A new depot does go up to spot the future run-bys, giving him a bit of time to prepare. But Maru is tunnel vision on the left side of the map. The SCVs do quicker pull this time. The tanks and the Hellbats will be able to defend. SCVs go back to mining. But it's 58 SCVs for Maru, and it's 89 for SERRAL. Adrenal Glands is on the way. He's got a Great Aspire finished. He hasn't even had to use it because he's having great success with Massling, Bane, Ravager. Another Ling run by down the left side of the map. He's wide open to it. It's just chaos. Chaos is being sown within the Terran mineral lines. Maru desperately trying to counter push, but he is taking devastating damage. Banelings find the mineral line. Lings are cracking into those bases. The work is going down. Maru says one push to finish it all. 2-2 Cyclone tank Hellbat. Let's go! But SERRAL breaks the front line with Biles, pulls back and recovers. Ling's still getting in there and finding even more damage. 41 SCVs go down. And with a whimper rather than a bang, Maru has to tap out. SERRAL with endless run-bys and an ingenious forward drone. A sapper, I guess is what we should call that. That's literally a sapper. We rarely see actual sappers in StarCraft games. But he did it, I think, about this 8-minute mark. And that is one of the biggest tools that allowed him to win this game. Check this out, guys. At some point in the midst of all this chaos, the moment he stabilizes, we're going to see SERRAL send a drone. This guy, off of his 4th base, he sends it forward, mines those minerals open at the 10-minute mark, and that was an ingenious move. Opened up a new front and allowed him to bypass the map control, because if he doesn't break these rocks or break those minerals for run-bys, MARU just controls the tower on the right, controls the left with these guys, has the Zerg completely pinned, and is able to just leave no defense at home. But SERRAL took advantage so well, and despite the early trades going horrendously badly for him, you can see he was 2,500 resources behind, he brings it back. Definitely MARU could have probably played this game a little better, but there's got to be a bit of exhaustion and a bit of psychological confidence damage, right? You can't feel confident when you're down 3-0 versus SERRAL in a grand finals. MARU played an excellent game 2, but at the end of the day, game 1 and game 3, he got taken out on his own maps by aggression from SERRAL. SERRAL's build orders were a big part of his success in this tournament. Yes, he won the perfect late game in game 2, but let's be real, a big part of why SERRAL dominated this entire tournament and wins this grand finals 4-0 is he came in with the best build orders, the best range of any player. He had some of the most fantastic defensive late game, but he also had some of the dirtiest roach pushes, Ravager Ling pushes, and he simply showed that he could do more things than anyone else in the tournament, and it really paid off. It paid in massive, massive dividends. So shout out to SERRAL. I said it live all tournament long, and people are probably sick of me hearing it from me, but I honestly do believe SERRAL's planning and thinking stage of the game is the best in the world. I think it's a big part of what puts him head and shoulders above guys like Clem and MARU, head and shoulders above Raynor and Dark, is I don't think any other player at the top comes in with as much understanding, as much knowledge about his opponents, and as many different tools in his toolbox as SERRAL. SERRAL really is the whole package, and if he continues this form, he will be unstoppable at the World Championship later this year. GG, well played. MARU played a good series, but he needed to play like a god today, and he just fell a tiny bit short. GG, SERRAL, well played.